British MMA fans and all MMA fans from around the world. Welcome to another episode of Ultimate Punching. And today I am going to be breaking down the state of English MMA. Yes, that's right. Because Paddy the Baddy is fighting this upcoming weekend and he is going to handedly defeat Michael Chandler and have all of you MMA fans crying, except for the British ones who support him and me. I thought I'd make a showcase of all the talent that's in the English MMA world and which ones have the best chance of becoming undisputed UFC champions of the world. How's my Bruce Buffer? Anyway, Governor, here we go. We're going to get started right now. Yes, in it. All right, so let me just switch it over to my other screen. And let's look at it. We've got all the British talent right here in one place on the wonderful and lovely UFC website. Here we go. So let's start with featherweight. And the reason I want to start with featherweight is because we've got two. Yeah, that's right. Two incredible contenders in the featherweight division who both have really good chances of becoming champion, in my opinion. And the first is Arnold Allen. I saw him fight live against Movsar Evloev. And a lot of people actually thought that he won. I didn't. It was very close, but I did think the decision went to the right guy. But we're talking about the guy that is the best in the division. In my opinion, Movsar is the best guy. Like he's not champion yet, but he's going to be champion. There's no question about it in my mind. You've got Movsar. He's number one. And I think Arnold Allen gave him his toughest fight up to that point. And I think he's got some good KO power. He's got good boxing. He beat up Giga Chikadze. Like, I give him a 7 out of 10, 70% chance that he becomes a champion, right? It just kind of depends how his next couple fights play out because you've got the likes of Diego Lopez up there. Volk is still in the picture, although we'll see this Saturday. My heart is yearning for Volk to get his belt back, but my head is kind of like, I don't know, man. Once you're on that skid, it's hard to get off, right? And then you've got Movsar. So Arnold Allen, like I said, 7 out of 10 chance, great British prospect. And, top of that featherweight division. I actually said when I saw him coming up, I'm like, maybe this is the guy to challenge Volk when he was kind of on that unstoppable streak there. But we haven't seen him fight for a title yet, I don't think. But I think he beats the likes of Rodriguez, Ortega. I think he could give Volk a run for his money right now. I think he could make a really close fight with Diego Lopez. He could make a really close fight with Movsar. So 7 out of 10 chance I'm giving him to become a champion. We're going to go right down to his colleague who just had a incredible performance, Lerone Murphy. He whooped Josh Emmett this past weekend. Whooped might be a little bit of a strong word. He won a nice decision, a very technical decision, as he puts it. The real fans would appreciate the technicality of everything that he did. But a lot of people are calling him the Bilal Muhammad of the featherweight division because, lots of decisions, lots of, nothing too exciting going on, but definitely one of these guys that does what he has to do in order to get the victory. Undefeated in the UFC. Same thing as Arnold Allen. Like, he's one of those guys that I see in the top of the division. Very, very good. Very, very talented. Dog walked Edson Barbosa in the previous fight before that. Does he win the title? I don't know, right? Like, it's one of these things that Movsar is really good. Diego Lopez is very good. His countryman Arnold Allen is very good, right? Volk's very good. Ilia Topuria is not in the picture at featherweight anymore, but maybe if he gets beaten pretty handily at lightweight, maybe he comes back down, right? I don't know. I don't know what happens there, right? But once again, both him and Arnold Allen, I give them kind of a 7 out of 10 chance to claim UFC gold at featherweight. What do you think their odds are? Let me know in the comments. By the way, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribe button, it helps the YouTube algorithm, helps grow the channel. Let's go over. This is a shoo-in. This is Tom Aspinall. I mean, he is already the interim champion. He's already defended his interim championship belt once. Really and truly, the fight with John Jones, to me, is the only question mark left at heavyweight, right? I can see him beating absolutely everybody in the top 10, especially all these like really fat heavyweights. There's some interesting matchups in Jailton Almeida. There's an interesting matchup. I'd be interested to see Volkov again. I'd be interested to see him versus Gain, just because like the English versus the French, get those French bastards. Like that'd be super interesting to me. That being said, I honestly think as long as he can kind of get the show on the road here with John Jones and win that undisputed title, he could very well become the greatest heavyweight of all time, right? And it's just time's ticking. We're not getting any younger. I'm looking at this like John Jones. I've got a feeling he's done. I don't know why. I've just got this feeling he's kind of looking at this. I want 6 months to prepare. Tom Aspinall's annoying. I've done enough. I'm injured. I'm this. I'm that. Just, we don't know what's going to happen. Now, I could be completely wrong. I have no inside information. I don't know, right? But it's just I've got this feeling that Tom Aspinall, that John Jones probably ain't fighting that heavyweight again, and we're going to see Tom Aspinall with that undisputed championship around him. Most of these other guys, honestly, I haven't really taken too big of a look into them. Javid Basharat, I've heard good things. I hear he's very good. It remains to be seen what's going to happen here. Modesta Bokakis, haven't heard too much about him. Let's go to Leon, because he was at one point the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Title defense against Usman, title defense against Colby Covington. Then we all know he lost to Bilal Muhammad, dropped his second loss to Sean Brady. And what I would say here is he's already touched undisputed gold, right? So he's already done what he needed to do. He's already been a champion. Do I see him ever getting that belt back? I don't think so. Number one, it took him forever to get to the belt in the first place. Like he had to win consistently for years because the guy never really kind of speaks up for himself. It's just kind of like, okay, well, when it's my turn, let me know and I'll fight for the belt, right? And now that he's dropped 2 in a row, one big win could put him back in that title contention, but like who against who, right? I don't know who he matches against now, because you've got. He's already beaten Usman. He's already beaten Covington. So the only other names are people that he's never fought before. Shavkat Rakhmonov, that's a bloody nightmare. He got dominated by Sean Brady. We've got JDM. If he loses to Leon, or he loses to Bilal, then maybe that's a fight that they do. Ian Gary, there is some bad blood there, so that could be something that happens. But Ian Gary's booked to fight Prats at the end of the month here. So Leon, I don't know who he fights next. And the other thing, too, is the dude fights once a year, right? So, we probably aren't seeing him back in there until December of this year at least, right? Maybe next year. We'll see what happens. But I don't think Leon's ever getting back to a title. He's already won it, so, the only English MMA fighter, in the last 5 years to actually win? I guess Tom, technically. Do you count interim? Let me know. I don't know. What do you guys think? But, I don't think he's being these guys here, none of them have really, turned my head to being in championship potential. Christian Duncan, I don't see that happening. David Grant, no. Nathan Fletcher, no. Jake Hadley, no. Jai Herbert. I've heard good things about no, not him either. Loner Kavanaugh, I've heard good things about this guy. He's flyweight. Again, I haven't watched him too much to see whether or not that happens, but I've heard good things. I've heard this guy has a lot of potential, so we'll see. But I'm putting him at 20, maybe 20, 30%, because lots of hype, but there's no way to know. Michael Venom Page. So this is interesting, right? Because he's older now. I think he's 37. Don't quote me on that, but he has such a unique style and he's such an entertaining guy that I feel like the UFC would give him favorable matchups to get him to a point where he could compete for a title. Like that fight against Ian Gary, right? He turned a striker into a grappler, right? Because his style is so unorthodox and difficult to deal with, right? We saw a guy, him go up to middleweight and fight the Pirate there. And, I'm the captain now. Just very, very exciting guy. But welterweight does have a lot of good grapplers, right? So if he stays at welterweight, that is like it would just be a matter of does he get those favorable matchups from the UFC because he's so entertaining. I'm gonna give him probably a 2 out of 10. Like I think he could win the belt against someone like a Leon Edwards or like an Ian Gary or somebody with a very striking heavy style. But I don't think he's going to do particularly well against someone like, and even Ian Gary, right? He lost that fight from the grappling. So you find someone like he's up against a Sean Brady or a Bilal Muhammad or someone who takes a wrestling heavy approach. I think that MVP would have a real tough time. So unless he gets those favorable matchups, 2 out of 10. I don't see him getting the gold here. Let's keep going. Paddy the Baddy. So this should be interesting because he gets so much hate. He gets so much hate, dude. And like I think it all stems from that one Jared Gordon fight. But honest to God, I think he has the ability to beat anybody in the lightweight division, with the exception of Islam Makhachev. Like he's got good power. His striking's gotten way better. His jiu-jitsu's really, really good. Like there isn't anybody that I think he couldn't handle, with the exception of Islam Makhachev, just because Islam Makhachev right now is a head and shoulders above everybody else in the lightweight division. So there's lots of interesting stuff that could happen, right? I mean, you've got Paddy coming out. He's fighting Michael Chandler this weekend. I think he wins that. You never know, right? But I think he wins that. Then you have his previous wins, which haven't been super impressive, but nevertheless, they've been good. But skill set wise, I think he's got what it takes to compete with Charles Oliveira. I know you guys are gonna get mad at me for this. Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje. I think he can compete with any one of these guys, and I legitimately think he could win the title if Islam Makhachev decides to vacate, move up, or retires, or whatever the case may be. As long as Islam Makhachev's king, nobody's touching that belt. But if he retires, and he's going to retire before Paddy, that's for sure, or vacate before Paddy gets there, I think Paddy has a really, really good chance at winning that belt. Now, there's a couple other names here. We've got Mick Parkin and Mario Pinto, both at heavyweight, who've shown some amazing promise. And do they ever touch the gold? I don't think so, especially not while Tom's running the show. But these are some prospects that are coming up that have interesting resumes and a lot of some even I think it was even Tom Aspinall said Mick Parkin has a lot of talent. He lost his last fight there, but he's got a lot of talent, and so will remain to be seen for these two guys. I don't know yet. I'm going to say 3 out of 10 for them to get a championship. But at the end of the day, right, like heavyweight is so it's sorely lacking as far as talent goes, right? Like there's there's the top 5 guys at heavyweight, and then there's everybody else. And the top 5 guys are good, and then everybody else is kind of like, are they? Are they good? You know what I mean? So these are some of the things. I don't really know who else to talk about. There is one person who's not technically with the UFC yet, but worth mentioning on the female side of things, and that's that Dakota chick from that Dakota chick. I don't remember her name, but Dakota something or other. She's with the PFL, and she beat that late girl. I think it was Santos, and there are rumors that she's going to be joining the UFC, and so I think for her, I think she has a really good chance of becoming a champion as well. I'd put her at 7, maybe 8. Like I think she's in the same division as Valentina Shevchenko, and Valentina's getting older, so it'd be interesting to see that matchup. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.